Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day everyone, my name is Siti Fathinurrahmah. I am from 5A1 class English Education. Today, I will deliver my presentation, my research proposal with the title The Use of KWL or Know, Want, Learn Technique to Improve Students' Reading Comprehension. This research presentation will include the discussion of 3 chapters of my study. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Okay. This will be the content of my presentation. First, I will be discussing about chapter 1, which is introduction. Next will be literature review and the last research methodology. Going forward, let's proceed to the introductions of this study. To start off, let's first identify what's the background and thesis statement of this study. Reading as a process of understanding and recognitions by getting information from sources that readers get, both printed sources and electronic sources. Reading is the fundamental ability to be mastered by the students. This is in line with the statement from Romero in 1985 that reading is one of the important essential skills for language learners because it is also a process of interpreting students' writing skills. On the other hand, reading also will help people to renew their understanding of various things. The most substantial thing in the process of teaching and learning to read is comprehension. According to Mansaleo, in 2018, reading comprehension is a stage where the reader is competent to rebuild and decide the meaning of the language symbols given and conveyed by the author. Students' reading comprehension, especially in descriptive text, was still low, according to a research conducted by Kartawijaya in 2017. Dealing with this problem, teachers carry out significantly crucial role in improving their students' learning abilities, in this case, students' reading comprehension skills. One of the strategies that can be used to improve students' reading comprehension skill is the KWL or Know, Want, Learn technique. Then, let's continue to identification, research questions, and objective of the study. Based on those conditions, some problems are identified as follows. First, students' ability in reading was low. And second, the student difficulty in comprehending in English text, especially descriptive text. And the research question toward this study is the use of KWL or Know, Want, Learn technique improved students' reading comprehension and descriptive text at 11th grade of senior high school students. And therefore, the objective of the study is going to find out whether the use of KWL technique can improve the ability of students' reading comprehension on descriptive text at the 11th grade of senior high school in West Java. Let's continue to limitation and significance of the study. The object of the research is KWL technique on students' reading comprehension on descriptive text as the term of object. In terms of subject, this research will be students of 11th grade of senior high school in West Java. And in terms of scope, this research is going to conduct at the first academic year due to descriptive text is taught in this semester. And this research has 2 aspects identified as the significance of study. First, theoretical, and second, practical. Theoretically, this research hopefully will enrich the previous research that focus on the use of KWL technique in reading, teaching comprehension. Practically, the advantages of this research are for English teachers and students. it may inform English teacher that KWL can be applied as a good method to increase students' achievement in comprehending reading text. Let's move on to the discussion about review of related literature. Here are the relevant or related literatures to support the study by fact. Reading comprehension. According to Duffy in 2009, comprehension is the essence of reading because the goal of written language is communications of messages. And according to Amelia and Kamalasari 2018, that true comprehension means making sense of what you read and connecting the ideas in the text to what you already know. It also means remembering what you have read. In the other words, comprehending means thinking while reading. Descriptive text, a research conducted by Kartawijaya in 2017, proved that there is a lack of reading comprehension skills in students, especially descriptive text in one of junior high school in Indonesia. And KWL technique helps readers elicit prior knowledge of the topic of the text, set a purpose of reading, monitor their comprehension, assess their comprehensions of the text, and expand ideas beyond the text, said Ogle in 1986. KWL strategy is a reading strategy that uses questioning to activate prior knowledge, to understand metacognition, and to write to learn. According to Ogle in 1986, there are some steps that should be considered in using KWL strategy. The first one is choose a text. Second, create a KWL chart. The teacher should create a chart on the blackboard or an overhead transparency. In addition, the student should have their own chart on which to record information. The third, ask students to brainstorm words, terms, or phrases they associate with a topic. And the teacher and students record this association in the K column of their chart. This is done until students run out of ideas. Engage students in a discussion about what they wrote in K column. Ask students what they want to learn about the topic. So next, to classroom action research. Classroom action research is a research conducted by a teacher in order to reflect upon and evolve their teaching. It is a systematic, documented inquiry into one aspect of teaching and learning in a specific classroom. The purpose of teacher research is to gain an understanding of teaching and learning within one's classroom and to use the knowledge in increasing teaching efficacy students' learning. Finally, we come to the last chapter of this presentation, which is research methodology. This research obtains the core objective to determine the effect of KWL technique in improving students' reading comprehension ability. So therefore, the approach adopted in the implementation of this research represents a quantitative method because this approach is in accordance with the nature of this research, namely seeking influence. Next, let's talking about research site and participant on the study. The population in the study was high school students. To be precise, students who were currently studying in their second year. The sample in this research was selected directly by the classroom teacher with principle of understanding the teacher on the conditions of his students who have problems in reading comprehension. The type of sampling in this study is purposive sampling because the researcher chooses participants based on considerations of the class teacher to have known the condition of his students according to the criteria. Move into data collection, method, At the beginning of the activity, the student explained in advance about this research, starting from the objectives, principles, and process. There is three steps conducted in this research. First one is pre-test. This test is carried out as a start to measure students' ability to understand reading comprehensively by working on selected questions that have been proved in less than 1 hour. In line with this, Guest and McKee, cited from Omaiman in 2020, stated that the purpose of the pretest was to ensure the comparability of groups of participants before the treatment and a post-test to measure the effect of treatment. Second step is treatment. Treatment is all the activity in KWL technique used by KWL chart. The first treatment is to prepare reading texts that are in accordance with the student's ability level and in accordance with the applicable curriculum. Then use the KWL charts as the particular guide. The teacher gives directions verbally and non-verbally in the learning process to teach them and in a fun way. And the last step is post-test. In this session, the researcher urged the students to return to their original position and retest their understanding with the same test questions as the pretest after receiving KWL technique treatment. After receiving the result from the three stages above, the researcher analyzed the results of the pretest, treatment, and post-test, analyzing the data with various methods of analysis, namely statistically, graphs, apply experimental research, quantitative descriptions in the form of frequency distribution of scores in both tests, mean standard deviations, t-tests, and hypotheses. And that's it. This is the end of my presentation of my research proposal. If you have any comment or recommendations, please contact me through the social media. Thank you and have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.